This was, I think, one of the most profound moments where the Lord has reminded me of just such rich biblical truth that being raised in the church, I maybe memorized this truth from a very young age, but we have those moments where we get to live it out, right? And so I trained for this marathon. I think it was my second one, and it was the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital Marathon in Memphis, Tennessee. And I trained so hard, Tammy.
Did
for
you?
this race. I'd worked so hard, and I had a really big goal in mind, and I was running it with a friend. And so we start the race, and if listeners aren't familiar with the marathon distance, it's 26.2 miles. And so we ran stride for stride with one another for about the first half. And we had that talk that you have with your running buddies before a race, and you say, if you're having a better day than me, I'm not gonna hold you back, you know? And so she very slowly started easing away from me. And it was also very uncharacteristically warm for a December day in Tennessee on this particular day. And so it was gonna be in the lower 70s by the end of the race, which for me, I do not run well in the heat. And so I was already anticipating how horrible I was gonna feel at the end.
Right.
And so
thinking about giving up.
That's
I'm
right.
Sure. Like,
yeah.
I'm done.
And so
done.
I got to around mile 20 and I started getting those heat exhaustion symptoms, and my arms were chilling, and I was just so exhausted. In hindsight, I probably should have quit, but I didn't. And the moment was, I was running back into downtown Memphis. I can close my eyes and picture exactly where I was on the course, and I was running underneath this bridge. And I looked to my right, and there's people cheering everywhere, but I just sort of laser focused in on this one family, and they are beginning to cheer my name. My name is kind of across my bib as I'm running by. And I see this little girl sitting in a wheelchair. And the closer I get to the family, I realize I think she's probably a patient at the hospital, which they were kind of scattered along the course. And the closer I get to her, I can see that she has a poster in her hands. And the closer I run to her, I can begin to read the poster. And it says, the same power that raised Jesus from the grave is living inside of you. You can do this. The same power that raised Jesus from the grave is living inside of you. You can do this. And so for the remaining, 10K that I had, step after step, I just continued to repeat that biblical truth to myself over and over again. And I think that moment in that marathon feels a lot like our everyday Tuesdays.
Yes.
Right? Where we're enduring in our calling, and we have that moment where we get to choose. Am I gonna stay stuck in this rut of feeling like it's all on me or up to me? Or am I gonna take God at his word and remember that as a follower of Christ, I'm not alone in my struggle. And I have the Holy Spirit residing in me as I walk forward with purpose.